Hello students, I welcome you all once again to the e-learning sessions of Automobile Engineering. Myself Hardik Shah, and during this lecture series we will discuss some interesting topics in the subject of automotive electricals and electronics. Okay, we have already started a new session that is on the injection system, that is automotive injection. Okay, and our today's topic in this video is basics of electronic injection systems. Okay, you have already learned about the mechanical injection in previous semester. I hope you will see this video till the end to completely understand this topic and gain your skills in your subject. Okay, I also request you to note down any queries which arises during the lecture and ask it in comment section. I will try to solve all the queries as soon as possible. So now let's start our today's video. So, the objective of the electronic fuel injection system is to regulate and optimize the fuel-air ratio that enters a vehicle's engine. So, fuel injection has recently become the main fuel delivery system used in automotive petrol engines. Okay, so we will discuss basic electronic fuel injection system, that is EFI, and other types of injection which is used in a automotive in very brief. Okay, so first start with what is electronic fuel injection system, that is what is EFI. Okay, so a system which aims at optimizing fuel air ratio entering a vehicle's engine is referred as a electronic fuel injection system. So EFI system has almost completely replaced the usage of the carburetors. Okay, you all know how carburetors works. Okay, it has venturi and the fuel is coming from the jets. So carburetors are good for performance, but due to their vague nature, they can't make great horsepower, get solid gas mileage and pass the emission test. So all with the same tune, they also had many mechanical parts that could become jimmy over the period of time. So this means they were more maintenance intensive, with the carburetor rebuild often being a part of the routine maintenance schedule. Okay, so you need to service it every time. So OEMs look into the EFI to solve their complex emission problems. So the initial EFI was mostly just processor control carburetors attached to an oxygen sensor and throttle position sensor. Okay, they all are wired to an electronic control unit that is called ECU. Okay, you all know how the ECU works. Okay, so the electronic fuel injection system consists of the electronic components and the sensors. Okay, it has to be kept clean and well calibrated to boost the engine strength and efficiency and to cut down the gas consumption. Fine, so that we can overcome the disadvantages of the carburetor. Fine. So types of fuel injections, to understand the concept better, so we have to first understand different types of fuel injection system. Okay, so the fuel injection types which are used in newer cars or recent cars are: first is single point, or you can say throttle body injection; second, multi-port, or you can say multi-point fuel injection; third one, sequential fuel injection; and fourth one is direct injection. Okay, so these are the main four types of injection that are actually used right now in a cars. So let's discuss all of them one by one. First is single point, or you can say throttle body injection. So the first and the simple kind of fuel injection was the single point injection. So here the carburetor is replaced by one or two fuel injector nozzles in the throttle body. Okay, which is the throat of the engine's air intake manifold. Okay, it is inlet manifold. So single point injection was a stepping stone to the more complex multi-point system for some manufacturers. So they are economical and easier to service. Okay, next is port injection, or you can say multi-point fuel injection, that is MPFI. So in MPFI, that is multi-point fuel injection, a separate injector nozzle is devoted to the each cylinders right outside the intake port. So due to which the system is also called port injection system. Okay, when the fuel vapor is shot close to the intake port, it makes sure that the fuel is drawn completely into the cylinder. So the major benefit is that MPFI meters the fuel more precisely than the throttle body design do. Okay, so it is better to achieving the desired fuel air ratio, that is fuel to air ratio, and improving all related aspect. Okay, Also it is nearly eliminate the possibility of fuel to condense, or you can say to get collected into intake manifold. Now the TBI system, that is throttle body injection, and the carburetors are designed in such a way that the intake manifold conduct the engine's heat, which is the measure to vaporize the liquid fuel. Okay, so it is not necessary on engines that are equipped with the MPFI, where the intake manifold can be made out of the lighter weight material, even with the plastic also, okay, or fiber also. So MPFI system results in increased fuel economy due to reduced weight also, and standard matter intake manifolds have to be positioned on top of the engine to conduct the heat. But in the case of MPFI, it can be positioned more creatively, okay, or you can say granting the engineer's design flexibility. So it will be easier to design the MPFI engines because it reduces the design of the intake manifold and the heat portion. Next is sequential fuel injection. What is that? So it is also known as sequential port fuel injection, SPFI, okay, or timed injection. It is a type of multi-port injection. Although the MPFI has multiple injectors, they all spray their fuel at the same time or in a groups, okay, as per firing order. Now this may result in hanging around of the fuel in a port for as long as 150 milliseconds at the time of the engine idle, okay. So it may not seem like much, but it's sufficient of the limitation that the engineers addresses it. A sequential fuel injection triggers every injector nozzle separately, okay. So they are basically timed like the spark plug and the spray the fuel immediately before or as their intake valve opens, okay. Although seems like a minor step, the efficiency and the emission improvements comes in a exceptionally small doses, okay. So this was all about the sequential injection system. Next is direct injection. This is the last one, direct injection. So direct injection inject the fuel straight into combustion chamber, okay, from past the valve. So direct injection system is common in diesel engines, and it is beginning to pop up the in gasoline engine designs also. Sometimes it is called GDI system, that is called gasoline direct injection system, okay. So fuel proportioning is still more accurate than in the other injection system. So the direct injection system grants engineer an additional variable to influence precisely how combustion occurs in the cylinders, okay. So the discipline of the engine design scrutinizes how the fuel air mixture swirls around in the cylinders and how the explosion travels from the ignition point, okay. So direct injection is one that can be used in a low emission lean burn engines, fine. So this was the basics of the injection systems, okay. You also know that right now that is BS6 version are going out, okay. So what is there in BS6 versions? So all the recent carburetors which was developed in a BS5 or BS4 versions are now replaced with the EFI systems, okay. Now these EFI systems are actually electronic fuel injections also in two-wheelers, okay. So now carburetors are actually replaced by that injectors, or you can say fuel injectors. Now what is the meaning of that? So actually in carburetor there was a vapor form inside the engine due to the mixture, due to the combustion and due to the mixing of the air fuel ratio, okay. So inside carburetor the vapor was actually developing, and this vapor was actually causing the pollutions, okay. The more it is pollution, the more it will actually get the carbon dioxide outside of the engines, okay, and it will be carbon monoxide outside the engine. So in exhaust system you will get more pollution, but in EFI system it is directly actually injected inside the engine. So replacing the carburetor with EFI will also reduce the pollution control, okay. So it will actually control the pollution and it will actually reduce the pollution emission norms, okay. So in EFI also it also increases the fuel economy because the injectors are actually operated electrically, or you can say electronically, and carburetors are actually operated mechanically, okay. And mechanical systems have more resistance, or you can say more friction with compared to electronic injection, okay. So this was the reason that now it is implemented FI in all the systems, okay, in all the vehicles and all the cars. So this was all about the EFI system, that is BS6 EFI systems. So that's it in today's video. We have discussed some of the basic injection systems. I wish you got the clear idea about this. Therefore, if you have any more to know or have any specific query, please let me know. I will surely try to respond it as soon as possible. Okay. In next lecture, we will discuss about the EFI in detail, that is electronic fuel injection system in detail. Okay. We will see architecture and how it works. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. Goodbye.